almost like the Flashpoint, where it starts, one of the key matrix lines that will help shatter this status centralized system.
Hello and welcome, my friends, to another edition of Flashpoint Radio. Thank you for joining me. I am your host, Jay-Z. It is Monday, May 7th, 2012. I still have the beard. I still have the shaggy hair. That means Baby Z is not here yet. When my new child, who will be residing in that new toy, that new baby equipment arrives, I will become the clean-shaven person that I should be for doing something like this, the news. Remember to follow me on Twitter at Flashpoint Radio, Facebook.com/Flashpoint Radio. Click subscribe above and like below if you like these. Then reshare this with your friends. If you have any breaking news, any documents or things that you think I should be covering, please send them my way, flashpointradio@gmail.com. We are going to start this evening with some good news for the Ron Paul supporters in America. Well, over the weekend, we get headlines like this from the Christian Science Monitor. Why Ron Paul's big wins in Maine and Nevada matter. And this from the LA Times. Ron Paul continues delegate offensive, wins big in Nevada and Maine. Well, in Maine, he won 18 of the 24 delegates. And in Nevada, he won 22 of the 25 delegate seats. Now, of course, in Nevada, this LA Times article states that 20 of the elected delegates will be bound to vote for Romney on the first round of balloting in Tampa. But they will be able to cheer for Paul and join others in disrupting what will be otherwise a highly scripted convention. Well, that sentence, those two sentences there, explain how that highly scripted convention can be thrown off of the script, and the Ron Paul supporters, and possibly, like the Christian Science Monitor tells us, the stealth delegates that may be elected to support Romney and other Republican dropouts might abstain from voting in the first round of the delegate process, preventing Mitt Romney from reaching the 1,144 vote count needed to secure the nomination. And on the second round of voting, guess what? They're all open to vote for whoever they want. So all of you Ron Paul stealth delegates who put on your suit and ties and put your slick back hair together to look like a Mitt Romney supporter, if you get to the second round of voting, you can throw that off, tear that shirt open, get your Campaign for Liberty, your Infowars.com, your 9/11 was an inside job shirt out, and put up your hand for Ron Paul. So there's a lot of good news, because we'll add Maine, we'll add Nevada, we'll add those to, let's see, Iowa, Massachusetts, Mississippi, Colorado, Minnesota, and possibly Missouri. The Missouri delegate second round did not go as well as we planned. I meant to get you this little tidbit last week on Thursday or Friday. I apologize. But on May 1st, my brother-in-law, Nick, received a letter on screen from the Missouri Republican State Committee. This is a red alert to anyone who voted or was a delegate in St. Charles. If you can get to Jefferson City this Thursday, May 10th, at 1 p.m. in the Carnegie's Room of the Capitol Plaza Hotel in Jefferson City, there will be a hearing about throwing out all of the delegates from St. Charles County. Yes, they have received a challenge to the slate of delegates that was elected in round 2 of the St. Charles County caucus. Well, if you were there, if you're a delegate, you have the right to appear before the committee and give testimony. RSVP is at 573-556-3711 or email credentials@mogop.org by tomorrow, May 8th. So if you're watching this, send this to everyone you know in St. Charles County. Repost this on Facebook. Get this out to as many people as we can. And if you're near Jefferson City, get down there on Thursday and support those people that will be defending the right for Ron Paul supporters to vote for him in the state convention in Missouri. This is another trick pulled, just as in Nevada over the weekend. The Mitt Romney delegation put out false ballots for the Ron Paul supporters and were passing out false flyers that appeared to be Ron Paul flyers just to try to trick people. Well, unfortunately, they don't realize that the intelligent people, the people that are informed, are supporting Ron Paul. Now, only mindless drones who show up just to pull a lever for an capital R would fall for something that's stupid. But us, we know that we are going to win this, if not in November, going forward, most definitely, because the gains we've made in the state conventions, in the states that Ron Paul is making these gains in, are long-lasting gains. We are gaining seats in the GOP. Going forward, we will be the ones making the rules. So even if we don't win in November, even if somehow they do pull some shenanigans, which if they do, we all know that Barack Obama will be reelected, going forward, we're the victors. We still have a chance. This may be a 10-year fight, but heck, we can get it. Maybe 2016 we'll get Rand Paul or maybe someone else that is a libertarian-minded Republican into office. So do not fret, Ron Paul supporters. Your work is paying off. I thank you because you've done jobs that I should have been doing. So I bow to those that are out there doing the work, because you are doing the good fight. You are fighting the good fight for liberty in this country. We're going to move along from the presidential campaign to this article I saw just a few moments ago, breaking on Yahoo News. Headline, CIA reportedly thwarted new thwarted new Al-Qaeda underwear bomb plot. Oh, wait a minute, Al-Qaeda. It's Al-Qaeda, not Al-Qaeda. I mean, the CIA did set up Al-Qaeda in 1979 to fight the Soviets. So, I mean, but come on, give me a break. There's no chance that just because we invented and we created Al-Qaeda that they would still have some sort of controllers working on our side. That's just stupid conspiracy. Do not put in your start page search Tim Osman. Please do not put in your search Zbigniew Brzezinski created Al-Qaeda. Do not put any of that in. But just today they reported that they have thwarted an underwear bomber. Well, and it was of course a bomb that did not contain metal. So traditional metal detectors would not have caught this bomb. And well, they don't say where this happened, but they do say that it was Al-Qaeda's affiliate from Yemen, which is Al-Qaeda of the Arabian Peninsula. They're the ones who are responsible for this. And it said making it likely that it could have eluded detection by traditional airport security. But they didn't say, of course, whether or not the new naked body scanners would have caught it, which they probably would not have. I found this to be quite funny that they had this headline stating Al-Qaeda from Yemen and a new terror plot involving airplanes, when just last week, April 29th, we get this. John Brennan, who was the person out reporting this threat. John Brennan, Al-Qaeda remains focused on planes. Oh, and he said, Brennan also confirmed that Yemeni Al-Qaeda offshoot remains focused on targeting planes. So do you see the PSYOP people? They come out 10 days before this, and they say Al-Qaeda from Yemen is still a threat. They're a threat because they're still targeting planes. 10 days later, they release a news story into the public's, realm of viewing. And then the public, of course, did not see this first article. All they see is, oh my gosh, they saved us. Thank you, CIA. Thank you, FBI, for saving us. Or could it be them dropping little droplets, little nuggets of propaganda to prepare the dumbed-down public for, well, the writing on their mind? This is how they write on your mind. They create your mind. They create it. They write their programming in your brain. Your brain is basically a living biological computer. And well, they've figured out through centuries and centuries how to, in some way, shape, or form, write code in your brain. And this is how they do it. They prepare your brain one way, and then they drop a nugget of knowledge on you here. So, of course, you better watch out because Al-Qaeda is still coming for you, even though 2 weeks ago we reported that the president and his cabinet said that the war on terror was over. But of course now we have the new threat of terror, which is domestic terrorism. But no fear, This from the UK Mail Online. Watch what you type. Surveillance cameras so strong they can zoom in to read text messages. Yes, so don't worry. The cameras that are on the corner of your street will be able to read the text messages of the terrorists, or you, I mean, if they consider you to be a threat. And they would never do that. It's not like the MIAC Homeland Security Report would consider domestic people and returning veterans and Ron Paul supporters terrorists, would they? Or would they? But this is the tidbit I found out of this article, the most disturbing. The revelations were made at a privacy conference in Wellington, New Zealand. Here it is, where it was also disclosed that the average person is digitally recorded about a dozen times a day. So when they tell you, no, you're not being recorded because you're not a threat, this is it. You're an average person, so you are digitally being recorded about a dozen times a day. But have no fear. We have states' rights, correct? We have states that are doing the right thing, that are taking back the power, and that are fighting this ridiculous police state and are bringing common sense back to our country. Or do we not? From the Boston Herald, headline, Parents Rule, Rules Half-Baked. State's junk food ban could take a bite out of school fundraisers. Yes, Massachusetts has banned bake sales. Bake sales are no longer legal for fundraising for public education or any school that receives accreditation from the state of Massachusetts. So if you have a band or if you have a parent-teacher organization that needs to raise some funds, do not make those brownies and cupcakes or they'll come arrest you, because it is now illegal for bake sales in Massachusetts. Don't you just love this country? Anyways, gotta go. Remember, spread this to everyone you know. Ron Paul supporters need to make it to Jefferson City this Thursday by 1 p.m. To voice your concern about the possibility of removing the slate of delegates that was voted on by St. Charles County. So check the links below. Spread this to everyone you know. Come back and see me tomorrow. Jay-Z signing off, saying God bless and keep your eyes to the sky.
Too much. All the world will suffer. The wicked clutch.